Hi guys, this is ECZ GCE 2021 Biology Paper 1. Question 1. Which of the following characteristics of living organisms is common in both plants and animals? So for both plants and animals, they are both going to have growth. Yes. So this here is the correct answer. Locomotion is only present in animals. Saprophytic nutrition is only available to fungi. Vegetative propagation is only available in plants. So A here was the correct answer. Question 2. The diagram below shows a compound light microscope which is labeled A, B, C, and D. The question is, which of the labeled parts holds, turns the objective lens into position? So the objective lens is here, so the part which is actually holding it is this part, B, which is the revolving nose. So B was the correct answer. Question 3. Which row shows the features found in both plants and the animals? So we have chloroplast. This is only present in plants. Cytoplasm, yes, to be present in both. Nucleus, yes, we are going to have it in both. The ribosomes, we are going to have them both in plants and the animals. The cell wall won't be present in the plants. So here the correct answer is D, because the chloroplasts are absent in plants and the cell wall is also absent here. So the correct answer here was D. Question 3. The graph shows the effects of temperature on enzyme activity. Which labeled point correctly indicates the optimum temperature? So the optimum temperature is the temperature at which the enzyme activity is the highest. So the highest here is at C. So that is the optimum temperature. Question 5. The table shows the concentration of glucose and starch in an onion. So glucose, grams per 100 grams, we have 4.0. Starch, grams per 100 grams, we have 0.0. So mean that the glucose is present while starch is absent. So the onion was tested with Benedict solution and iodine solution. Which set of results are obtained? So since glucose is present and we are testing with Benedict solution, here we are going to observe the color changing to brick red. Now here, since starch is absent and when you test with iodine solution, the solution will actually remain brown. So the correct answer here is D. Next question, 6. Which of the following kinds of people need a lot of energy in their diet? So people who need a lot of energy in their diet, it's of course sportsmen and infants who are actually growing, because they need energy for growth. So here the correct answer is sportsmen. Question 7. Nitrogen is a macronutrient in plants which is needed in the formation of cellulose. No, this one we need the glucose. Fats, we also need the carbohydrates to make proteins. Yes, we need the nitrogen to make proteins. So C was the correct answer. Question 8. The diagram is an experiment set up to show that light is needed for photosynthesis. The setup was left in sunlight for 12 hours. Then the leaf was tested for the presence of starch. So this is our leaf here. We had an aluminium foil with a stenciled letter L, which is labeled A, B, C, and D. Which part of the leaf did not contain starch after 12 hours? So the part which is actually covered will not undergo photosynthesis, while the parts which are exposed to light will actually have photosynthesis. So mean that the part which will actually not show will be part C. Question 9. The diagram shows the structure of rhizopas. Which of the labeled parts is the stolon? So the stolon is actually part A. So that is the correct answer. Question 10. The diagram shows the longitudinal section of a molar tooth which is labeled S, which is this shaded region here. What is part S? So part S is actually the dentine. So the answer here was B. 11. What are the ailments associated with the large intestines? So when you see the word ailments, it's the same as the diseases. So we have appendicitis. Yes, this one is involved with the large intestines where the appendix actually gets swollen. Cholera, yes, and also dysentery. Diabetes, no, this actually deals with the pancreas as well as the liver. So here the correct answer was B. Question 12. The diagram shows gaseous exchange in the alveolus. So we have the alveolus here, and we have the parts labeled X and Y. Then the question is, which of the following correctly represents gas X and Y? So the gas which is absorbed is actually oxygen, while the gas which is released from the blood vessels, the pulmonary vein, is actually carbon dioxide. So let's now identify these gases. So here for X we said this is oxygen and Y is carbon dioxide. So the correct answer here was C. 13. Which of the following is an application of respiration? So we're talking about the applications in which we use the respiration. Fractional distillation, no. Production of glucose production, we don't use the respiration here. This is mostly photosynthesis. Sewage treatment, yes, we use the respiration. So the correct answer here was C. Water treatment, no, we don't use respiration. So 13, the answer was C. Next part, 14. What type of immunity is associated with BCG vaccination for tuberculosis? So BCG is the vaccine which is actually given to prevent tuberculosis and mostly given to children under the age of 3. So this one is actually artificial and active immunity. So the correct answer here was A, because you are given a weak virus of BCG so that your body learns how to defend against the tuberculosis, and that's why we are saying it's active, because your body is learning how to defend. Now, since the injection is given to you, that's why it is artificial. So it's artificial active immunity. 15. Which conditions are needed for a blood clot to form when a person cuts oneself? So calcium, yes, we need calcium. Platelets, yes, these are needed. Fibrinogen, yes, it's needed. One of the plasma proteins needed in blood clotting. White blood cells, no, you don't need white blood cells because these are used in defending against infections. So here the correct answer is B. 16. The diagram shows an external view of the human heart. So we have the heart here, showing the chambers of the heart and the blood vessel labeled X. What is the name of the blood vessel labeled X? So the blood labeled X is simply the coronary artery. So the correct answer here is A. 17. The diagram shows the circulatory system. So here we have a diagram showing the double circulation, and we have blood vessels which are labeled, and we have blood vessels which are labeled K as well as J. So the rest of them are labeled. So for K, this is what is known as the mesenteric artery, and for J, this is actually the hepatic portal vein. So this is the most unique blood vessel in the body because it has got capillaries at both the ends. So if you look at this blood vessel, only capillaries here, no capillaries there. This blood vessel here, no capillaries here, only capillaries there. But for J, it has capillaries this side and also there. So don't forget the uniqueness about the hepatic portal vein. So let's look at the questions which were asked. So the question says, name the blood vessel J and K. So J, we said, is the hepatic portal vein, and K is the mesenteric artery. So the correct answer here was B. 18. In which part of the kidney does ultrafiltration occur? So ultrafiltration is actually carried out by the glomerulus. So this is the correct answer. So here, be careful, it's not the Bowman's capsule, because the Bowman's capsule just simply contains the glomerulus. 19. What changes are likely to occur when a hotel cook moves from a cold room into a hot kitchen? So when the cook moves into the hot kitchen, they'll actually try to keep their body cool. So when you are trying to cool your body, sweating will occur, so mean that sweating will increase. Shivering, no, you are not going to shiver, because shivering is done to actually warm up the body by contracting and relaxing the skeletal muscles quickly. Then here the blood vessels are actually going to dilate so that they are able to lose more heat. So here the correct answer was C. 20. Which of the following shows the correct match between the hormone and its effects? So adrenaline decreases the heart rate. No, adrenaline actually increases the heartbeat. That's why when you are scared, you will feel your heart pumping fast. Glucagon reduces the blood sugar concentration. No, this is actually done by insulin. C, insulin increases the blood sugar concentration. No, actually these were opposite of each other. So this one is actually here and that one there. Thyroxine controls basal metabolic rate. Yes. So the correct answer is D. 21. The diagram shows a reflex arc. So we have a reflex arc here showing a pin pricking the finger. Then we have neurons L, K, and J, which are then connected to the muscle. So the question is, what are the structures J, K, and D, L? So for L, this is the sensory neuron, which is of course sensing the pin here. Then inside the gray matter of the spinal cord, we have the relay neuron, which is K. Then the one which will connect to the muscle or the effector is the motor neuron. So the answer here was actually D. 22. The diagram shows a section through the human eye. Which structure contains the muscle which contracts to produce a focused image on the retina? So when we are focusing the image, this is what is known as accommodation, and accommodation is done by the ciliary muscle, which is found in the ciliary body. So the correct answer here is B. 23. Which of the following is correct about the exoskeleton? So A, inside the body, no. Exoskeletons are found outside from the word exo. Inside the body, again, this is no. Outside the body and made up of calcium deposits, no. The exoskeleton is made up of chitin. So mean that the correct answer here is D. It's outside the body and also made up of chitin. 24. Which of the following statements or behaviors of living organisms can be referred to as negative taxism? So negative taxism, this is where you are moving away from the stimuli. So the cockroach moving away from light, yes, this is negative taxism. 25. The diagram below shows the structure of a maize seed. So we have it labeled X, which is this part is the embryo. We have Y, which is the radicle, and we have Z, which is the chorioryzo. What are the parts labeled X, Y, and Z? So we said this is the cotyledon, and this is the radicle, and this is the chorioryzo. So the correct answer here is B. 26. The diagram shows the structure of muco. So we have the mucofungi here. What type of asexual reproduction is demonstrated in the diagram? So here the asexual reproduction is where we are forming spores inside the sporangium. So this is what is known as spore formation. So the correct answer was D. 27. Which of the following is not an advantage of vegetative propagation? So here we are looking for not. So chip, yeah, this is an advantage. genetic stability, yes, this is an advantage, because if you want to get apples or which taste the same, or you want bananas which have the same size or color, that will give you genetic stability. Overcrowding, no, this is not an advantage, so this was the correct answer. 28. The diagram shows a longitudinal section of a pistil or carpel of a flower. We have it labeled A, B, C, and D. We have the stigma, the style, the ovule, as well as the ovary. Which part receives pollen during pollination? So pollination will be the stigma. This is where the pollen grain will actually land. So A is the correct answer. 29. The diagram shows a dandelion fruit. So this is the dandelion. These are normally the ones which you normally see, for example, when they're blown by wind, they are normally whitish in color. So this is just one piece of the dandelion. How is this fruit dispersed, and what adaptive features enables it to be dispersed in that manner? So like I mentioned, to say dandelions will actually be carried by the wind, because they have this structure which is feathery, or actually works more like a parachute. So for example, we can have a parachute there, where you have someone who's actually jumped from a plane, so the structure almost appears the same. So you can see the structure almost makes more like a parachute there, with the strings attached. So let's look at the answers. So here the type of dispersal is wind, and it has a parachute. That is the adaptive feature. So the correct answer is C. 30. Which part of the male reproductive system produces the hormone testosterone? So testosterone is actually produced by the testes. So the correct answer here is D. 30. The diagram shows the changes that occur to the uterus during the menstrual cycle. So we have the menstrual cycle here running from day 1 to day 28. So which of the following shows the times in days when ovulation and menstruation are likely to occur? So we're looking at ovulation and menstruation. So menstruation mostly will occur here, where the shedding is taking place, normally from day 1 to day 4 or day 5. Then for ovulation, this is the release of the egg cell. This normally occurs around day 14. So let's look at the possible days which we have here. So here A, we have 10 to 12. No, we're looking for somewhere where 14 is. So already here 13 to 15 is fine, because that is between 14 where menstruation is taking place. Then menstruation day 1 to day 4, which is within our cycle. So here the correct answer is C. Okay. 32. Which method of birth control works by preventing an ovum from being released? So the ovum or the egg is released due to presence of the luteinizing hormone. So meaning that if you are going to prevent ovulation, you need to block this hormone. So this will actually be done by oral contraceptive pills, which are artificial hormones. 33. Which cells in the body are produced by meiosis? So meiosis is a type of cell division which actually produces gametes, and gametes are sex cells. So here the correct answer will be C, because we have sperm cells which are sex cells. 34. Which cross is likely to result in a 3:1 ratio of the phenotype controlled by a dominant allele T and a recessive allele T? So for Gregor Mendel, he actually carried out about 3 crosses. So in one of the crosses, he got all tall plants, and in the other cross, he got 3:1. And the other cross was a test cross, which gives a 1:1 ratio. If you want a 3:1 ratio, you need to cross heterozygous toe with heterozygous toe. So this cross is the one which will give us a 3:1. So this one and this one will give us a homozygous toe. This one and that one gives us heterozygous toe. Then this one and this one also gives us a heterozygous toe. Then this cross gives us a homozygous short. So in terms of toe, this is toe, this is also toe, and this is also toe, while this one will be short. So we have 3 which are toe and 1 which is short. So the correct answer here is B. 35. The diagram shows an arthropod. So here we have an arthropod, and this is actually a centipede, which is known as the animal with 100 legs. So we have the back legs here, which work as poisonous claws, and it has got 1 pair of legs per segment. So the question is, to which class does the organism belong? So the class where the centipede belongs to is what is known as the chilopoda. So that was the correct answer. 36. An experiment to investigate one property of soil was set up as shown. In each thin glass tube was filled with the same amount of a different type of soil and stood in water for 2 hours. So we have sand soil, loam soil, and the clay soil, which has been placed in thin tubes, and we have a trough here which is containing water. So what property of soil samples is being investigated here? So since we've placed water at the bottom, we are trying what is trying to observe is to see how far water actually climbs up these tubes. So where water is actually climbing, this is what is known as the capillarity. So the property here is B, which is the capillarity. 37. Which of the following correctly identifies biotic factors, abiotic factors, and a population? So biotic factors, living part of the ecosystem; abiotic factors, non-living part of an ecosystem; population, this is the number of organisms of the same species living in a given area at a particular time. So abiotic factors, cow, no, because a cow is a living factor. So here we have goat, again this falls off because this is a living organism. C, we have rocks, yes, these are non-living. Zebra, yes, this is living. Population, 25 hectares of grass. So you have a given area and the organisms which have been observed, which is grass. So here the correct answer is C. Okay. D, we have river. Now river, it's not complete as a biotic factor because a river is actually an ecosystem, meaning that it will have both the water, which is the abiotic, and of course the fish, the other things which will be living there. So that's why the river here is going to fall off. 38. The diagram shows a food web. In one particular year, a swarm of locusts invaded and ravaged the area. So here we have the locusts. So in 1 year we have too many locusts which had actually invaded the area. So, and we know locusts are mostly a pest and a problem because they mostly feed on the grass. So let's look at what was asked in the question. The question is, what could have happened to the population of baboons and impalas? So since we have a lot of locusts now inside the ecosystem, mean that here they'll actually provide more food for the scorpions. I mean that the population of scorpions will increase, and since you have more scorpions, also baboons will have a lot of food, so their population also increase. Now when you come to the impala, the locusts are also eating the grass, so mean that there's a lot of competition and they'll have to compete. The impalas mean that these will actually have no food, so they'll end up dying from starvation, so the impala population will actually reduce. So mean that here the population of baboons, we are saying it will increase, populations of impalas will reduce. So the correct answer here is B. 39. In the carbon cycle, which two processes add carbon dioxide to the atmosphere? So carbon dioxide can actually be added by combustion and also respiration. So the correct answer here already is A. Okay, let's just go through. Decomposition, no. Fossilization, no, because it will actually keep carbon inside the soil. Feeding, no, this is just passing of carbon around in the ecosystem. Photosynthesis is absorbing the carbon dioxide. Respiration will produce carbon dioxide. So already the correct answer here is A. 40. Which of the following is the correct reason for conserving plant species? So we are saying 2. A, absorb oxygen from air. No, because plants actually give oxygen. B, decrease rainfall. No, we need plants to actually give us more rainfall. C, obtain medicine from them. Yes, we have medicinal plants like here, the moringa tree. We also have fruits which have medicinal, like the tamarind. So here C is the correct answer. So D is saying release carbon dioxide into the air. No, actually trees absorb carbon dioxide, and that's why planting trees is one of the factors or points which are basically taken to actually help us reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, as we are facing global warming as a planet at the moment. So that's why you find people are advocating and promoting the planting of trees. So these were the solutions to paper 1 for GCE 2021. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and you can also leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.